Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We are actively watching the radar tonight on Twitter, X, YouTube, and Instagram. You can find me live right now. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. And that's where our live storm updates are there at the top. So please see the latest. We are doing every 30 to 60 minutes. We are giving you updates. We're watching the latest tornado warning just southwest of Glen Burnie. It is radar indicated, and so far we haven't seen any reports, but there was maybe a spotter, as it seems to be a spotter may have called into the office. They may have seen a funnel cloud. So please take cover if you're in a tornado warning. Remember, go to the lowest floor away from windows. Make sure your head is covered and you are away from any possible glass, as low and interior as you can get. Even a bathtub is okay as well. David, hello. Thanks for tuning in from X, and KK. Thanks for tuning in for X. Indeed, it is Memorial Day. This is our holiday edition, Holiday Sunset Live. I forgot to change my text right there, but we are watching radar actively this evening, and we are going to keep you posted as the line moves toward the I-95 corridor over the next, we think by the end of this broadcast, 8:45, 9 o'clock, most of this activity will push eastward on from I-95. And by 1, 2 a.m., I'm going to show you things really calm down pretty quickly as this cold front moves through. So that is the good news, that we are going to see this is a very heavy but short-lived burst of activity. We're giving you live updates at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you on Instagram. El, Valen, and Community, and Jules, thanks so much for tuning in on Instagram. Lindsay, appreciate you tuning in from X. It's very kind of you. Hello, Julia. I'm sorry your dogs and you were anxious. Remain calm. These are moving through pretty quickly, pretty good forward speeds. Scott is reporting power outage in Bristow and Manassas. Scott, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. And Brian, indeed, holiday sunset live Q&A for Memorial Day Monday. You caught me that I forgot to update that text, but typically I see you every Sunday for a weekly Sunday sunset chat. David, hello. Good to see you on Facebook. Indeed, Stormy, indeed, KK. And lightning show in downtown Silver Spring not long ago. David, very good. And why? And Cat, not happy. Your animals are not going to be happy until these thunderstorms move through, but they are moving through quickly. By 8:45, 9 o'clock, we're going to see this progressing east of I-95. So that's the good news. Greetings from Cleveland Park, Christian and Paul. Very good. I'm glad you could tune in. And lightning in downtown DC reports why on X. And yep, JB, we have a tornado warning just south of Glen Burnie. But we are watching the latest coming in from the National Weather Service. There was a spotter and radar indication on this southwest of Glen Burnie, so we're going to have to watch this, but it's moving quickly, luckily. The entire storm complex between Dale City and up near Towson, that's kind of the focal point over the next 15, 45 minutes. JB, unfortunately, a couple tornadoes are indeed possible. A tornado watch goes into our region. It's still in effect for long and east of I-95 until 11 o'clock this evening. So let me show you the latest and the updated tornado watch area. It is getting shaved back just a little bit from west to east as these storms progress west to east. So luckily, not all of us are going to be, continuing in this watch until 11 p.m. But we've got to get this cold front through the area, and that's going to take a little more time. But it is moving over I-95 the next 15, 45 minutes. I'm Camden Walker for CapWeatherGang.com. Thanks for tuning in for our Holiday Sunset Live, our Memorial Day edition. I hope you had a good holiday despite some of the severe weather threats in our region. And remember, I'll see you next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Chat, regular schedule then. Looks like we are seeing some evidence on radar on of near Glen Burnie of a forecast. Let's see. It looks like we've got tornado warning that we're watching, and we did have a spotter and radar indication on that one. Just remember, if you are in a tornado warning, a tornado is possibly imminent, and you need to get to an interior, lowest floor possible, away from windows. A bathtub is great if it's an interior bathroom. Doesn't have to be the basement, but just as interior as you can get to the center of your building or shelter, and as low as possible as well. So do the best you can, and don't worry about perfection. Just be safe, as low as floor possible, interior away from windows as best possible. All right, so we are Also looking at this moving through pretty quickly. Okay, that is the good news. Even in the next 30, 45 minutes, we should see most of this activity pass through the I-95 corridor and off to the east. And I think most of the region is quiet by 1, 2 a.m. I use lightning as a good proxy for the more lightning strikes equals a greater likelihood of severe weather. So you can see kind of the stronger storms really start fizzling even before midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. They're moving out of here pretty quickly. This cold front is moving pretty quickly. So any storms that you were experiencing, lightning that is and thunder that is affecting your animals, I'm sorry to say, it will be pretty quick. It looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning for DC until 9:15. So let's check radar again. We are just watching this storm. So it's very strong, this complex between Dale City and Towson, but moving quickly. And that is the good news. And we'll talk about the week overall in just a moment, but it is slowly going to cool down this week, slowly settle down as well. We do have kind of showers and storms even the next couple days as we transition to more stable air, cooler, more pleasant air. So it's coming. We are going to get some really good spring weather by the end of this week into Saturday. And we think Saturday is better than Sunday when it comes to the weekend conditions. So we'll keep you posted as we get closer. On capitalweathergang.com. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks for tuning in. Normally our Sunday sunset chat. This is our holiday sunset live Q&A for Memorial Day. So please tune in, and anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Thanks for tuning in. Spanish and CR and Sandy on Instagram, on X, YouTube, and Facebook, of course. Catherine, really good seeing you on Facebook. So if you're in an apartment, make sure you get you're in a tornado warning. If you're in an apartment, you don't have to necessarily go to the basement. Do if you can, but get interior and lowest floor as possible away from windows. That is what is the best idea. Don't go for perfection. So Emily, DC, thanks for tuning in. Spanish, Peter, appreciate seeing you on Instagram, and Evan as well. All right, I'm making sure. Let's see. Rotation over resting Great Falls about an hour ago, DCD. Indeed, I don't think we did see damage reports from that yet, but they'll do surveys if they do suspect tomorrow or the next day, if the National Weather Service suspects that there was some damage. Hello in Hyattsville, baby. Good to see you on Instagram. Thank you so much. All right, I've caught up on the Instagram questions and comments. Blue, Holly, Seaman, thanks for tuning in. Lauren and C-Dan as well. All right, so we've got Eric. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. We've got Marcia and Catherine. So, Catherine, if you are in a tornado warning, make sure you go to an interior place, lowest floor, as best possible. Don't go for perfection. Just do relatively best you can away from windows. So go to the most sturdy part, center area of your shelter, and as low as possible. Kai, indeed, some crazy storms. Good to see you on X. And Coach, I'm sorry that your plans got altered, but I hope you are staying safe. And glad it's tapering off in Laurel. Good report. And indeed, David, I think you can turn off the AC hopefully this coming Thursday and Friday. That is some good news to light at the end of this tunnel after the severe weather. There is cooler air. This is a strong, vigorous cold front right now. So right now, LA824 on Instagram are watching the storm complex moving quickly, which is kind of the good news. Between Dale City and Towson, it is moving quickly with this cold front moving through. A tornado warning near Glen Burnie we're watching. It looks like radar indicated thus far, maybe one spotter saw a funnel cloud. So remember, if you're in a tornado warning, go to the lowest floor possible, interior floor as best possible, away from windows. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be a basement, but do what you can. All right. Kenyon is got a pretty strong storm over Crofton right now. Kimchi, Ekaya, good to see you on Instagram. I'm Cameron Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're watching radar very intently tonight. This tornado watch is in effect until 11 p.m., but it is being shaved back just a little bit. These storms are out of here by midnight, 1, 2 a.m., even clearing the I-95 corridor in the next 45 minutes, maybe sooner. So that is the good news. We've got this updated tornado watch. It's kind of being shaved back as these storms continue to progress eastward. We will get this tornado watch canceled as these storms and the cold front move eastward as well. So that is the good news. We are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, some more settled weather soon this evening. But please, if you are along and east of I-95, stay a little bit weather aware still for a little further into this evening. We've got a few more hours, maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m., where the eastern shores, where these stronger storms clear out as well. So they're moving quickly. They will get out of here pretty quickly. We'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. We are doing these updates at the top here is our storm updates, live updates at capitalweathergang.com. And we will be sending updates to that every 30, 60 minutes as we need, as we see fit. But things do calm down, in the next few hours, even the next 45 minutes along I-95, things will calm pretty quickly. We are watching this tornado warning near Glen Burnie. And if you are finding yourself in a tornado warning, remember to get to the lowest floor possible and the most interior place possible. So have walls and no windows and to get as low as possible, even if it's not a basement, just get as low as possible in your place of residence or wherever you are, please. All right, Joe, Emil, good to see you on Instagram. Clever Girl 24, good to see you. You're most welcome for the information. I'm glad you're tuning in from Instagram. Good to see you. All right. Mary, please be careful there if you're near the tornado warning. And Seven Corners, Briggy is reporting it blew through pretty hard there as well. Thunder and Falls Church, says Megan, but I'm glad it is passing you. All right. Good to see all of you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. You stay safe as well, Ruth Elisa. And Vegan X on X, good to see you as well. Thanks. You stay safe as well. Daniel, we think this is the main line, and things will calm down along I-95 in the next 30, 45 minutes pretty darn quickly. This is the main line, and we're not expecting storms to reform afterwards. That's a very good question, Daniel. Thank you. And we've got all the details like that at the storm updates there, the live updates at capitalweathergang.com. Marie, good to see you. And Nick, if you are, make sure you have one or two trusted sources for your weather information. You should get a push alert on your phone, your NOAA weather radio. We will, on radar, we'll watch for tornado warnings as well. This is radar scope below what I have as well. Julie, I'm glad you have your flashlights there in Tacoma Park. Good call. And Amy, thanks for tuning in. I hope I answered your question about that. Make sure you have one or two trusted sources for your weather. Your phone, your NOAA weather radio, and anything geolocated to where you are should push you a tornado warning. And yes, there is a slight tornado risk for Baltimore, but so far the heaviest activity is moving off to the south and east, rays on X. So thanks for tuning in from x.com. All right, it's looking rough out there indeed, Stephanie, on Facebook. I agree. And James, we do have a chance this week on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. We do have a chance for this Saturday being decent. If we had to pick a weekend day this week, so far we're leaning Saturday for outdoor plans. Yes, we're finally breaking our streak. It may look a little better Saturday than Sunday, so do think about that. Ray, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in from X. We got Billy on Instagram. Isha, LTJ, TJ Brew, good to see you on Instagram as well. All right, let's see. I will move on here. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We are watching and updating CapitalWeatherGang.com very often. We've got a live blog there. We're watching this activity move through. The tornado watch is shrinking as this is the good news. As this front moves from west to east, the tornado watch is slowly being allowed to expire west of town. We hopefully can cancel this tornado watch as this line moves through in the next maybe 45 minutes along I-95, much of I-95. So stay tuned for that. But overall, the region is still staying weather aware. All of us need to stay weather aware along and east of I-95 until perhaps 11 p.m. As it moves east of town. So we've got to get these storms east of town, but right now still in a tornado watch, technically till 11 p.m. But it is getting shaved back as this front and the very heavy thunderstorm activity moves from west to east tonight. And here's the motion that we can expect. Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. This is moving very quickly off into the Atlantic through the eastern shore. This is lightning strikes, and typically we get a lot of lightning strikes this time of year when we have some big, severe thunderstorms. So I wanted to use that as a proxy for you just to give you a better sense so you could see these move quickly. These do have lightning associated with them. We're concerned a little bit about hail. Winds over 50 miles per hour could cause some quick damage, but these are moving quickly. And I just wanted you to stay weather aware a little bit longer, but we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. No storms are expected to reform behind these as well. All right, Paul, I think Friday's forecast is looking pretty good. Let's look at the week ahead. Here it is, forecast at a glance as we watch radar. Right now, it is still very active, but things are moving fast, and we're watching Boeing segment on the east side of DC. Our storms expert is chiming in right now. We're just going to keep a slight eye down towards Anacostia and the eastern parts of the Beltway right now for a segment there on radar that looks a little bit interesting to our severe weather expert, Jeffrey Halverson. I'm Cameron Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're doing our Holiday Sunset Live edition for Memorial Day. Happy holiday. I'll see you this upcoming Sunday for we'll return to our normal Sunday Sunset Live chats. These are 20 minutes. I'm on the air another 5 minutes or so. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I want you to stay safe first and foremost tonight. See our live blog update. Here's CapitalWeatherGang.com. Go to our blog there at the top. I've got our live storm updates latest headline there. These are moving quickly. We are on a tornado watch, one or two tornado warnings, and interesting features on radar that we're watching. So far, nothing too widespread, but it is worth staying a little cautious just a little bit longer as he's pushed through the 95 corridor. And the good news is no storms expected to move to redevelop behind this. We're getting this out of here by midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It should be out into the Atlantic and past even the eastern shore by, I think, 2 a.m. or so. Sylvina, thanks for tuning in, Colorado. JM Sander, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Let me make sure I have not missed any questions or comments there. All right, thank you very much for tuning in on Instagram. And Ruth Elisa, Wednesday looks a little warm, but the dew points are coming down, so humidity will feel a little drier, more refreshing as the week goes on. Great question, Ruth Elisa. And James, I don't think maybe one stronger storm on Wednesday is possible, but overall, Tuesday, Wednesdays, every day showers and thunderstorms are not expected to be anywhere near the category that we're looking at tonight. So that's a great question. And settled, high pressure, hopefully getting control by Thursday, Friday, and perhaps into Saturday as well. Let's see. DC Photog on Instagram's reporting they got walloped earlier in Frederick, but you should be good now. Frederick is in the clear. This cold front's moving through. We are shaving back slowly but surely. The National Weather Service is shaving back this tornado watch as this front moves through from west to east. We are slowly, decreasing this tornado watch as we follow along the storms. None are expected to reform behind it, so that is good news. We could have a wind surge going on the east side of DC. Please take shelter if you are on the eastern side of DC right now. Radar is a little too interesting there right now on the eastern half of the Beltway, Anacostia area as well. All right. So the good news is these are moving quickly. No storms reforming behind it. If you find yourself in a tornado warning tonight, please remember the two most important things: that you don't have to be perfect, but safety is away from windows, most interior room, lowest place possible. Doesn't matter what kind of shelter or building you're in. Doesn't have to be a full-on basement, but just get away from windows. So stay interior and stay low. Okay. Interior and low. All right. So we're watching these move pretty darn quickly out of here in the next few minutes along the I-95 corridor. They are moving east with the cold front. No storms expected to move and develop behind them. So this tornado watch will slowly be allowed to expire, but by at the latest 11 p.m. east of DC. And out to sea, this front takes these heavy storms out to sea very quickly after midnight tonight. All right, let's look quickly at the week ahead. Kind of looking further ahead, the precipitation is limited, but still possible Tuesday, Wednesday. Nothing severe really expected. Generally, everyday showers and storms. We'll watch a little bit Wednesday, maybe one strong storm pops up. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, pretty darn good. Overall, it's a sunny week, but the most stable, best time for outdoor plans would be Thursday, Friday, and probably Saturday. That we can break our Saturday streak, hopefully, this upcoming weekend. Rain amounts are kind of meager, but we're fine in the drought and rain department as it stands now. So the next 7 days, really quarter, third, half inch, maybe if we're lucky. This time of year, it's very hit or miss with showers and storms. But temperatures this week slowly getting more comfortable. It's going to take a little while, a couple days, to get the humidity down, but temperatures are on the downswing. Cooler air kind of moves in by the end of the week when we turn sunnier, calmer, more tranquil. Could be rain-free Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And hopefully, overall sunny this week overall, even though some clouds and showers and storms pop up potentially Tuesday and Wednesday. But we are getting there, getting into a better better weather regime. And next week, temperatures unclear. If there's an unclear signal, could be above or below average. and a leaning above average for precipitation next work week, which is another reason I'm not too worried about the lack of rain over the next several days. We have enough in the water table for now, but of course it's summer. We'll keep everything, a slight eye for you gardeners and farmers. All right, I have talked enough. My 20-minute mark here. Please stay safe, especially on the east side of DC, east segment of the Beltway, as these storms move quickly from west to east through the 95 corridor. We're slowly calling things all clear. Once these pass, you are in the clear. The cold front is moving quickly out to sea, out into the Atlantic by 1, 2, 3 a.m. tonight. So that is the good news. If you are finding yourself in a tornado warning or any other sort of severe storm warning, it's best to get away from windows and as low as possible. So interior and low. So get insides and low. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a basement. If you do, just get as low as possible. Basement is great, but get as low as possible and away from windows. All right. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube. I will see you on Sunday, everyone. And David, thanks for tuning in from Facebook. And we'll celebrate when the weather is calmer, David, as we have enjoyable weather coming up at the end of this week. All right, Ruth Lisa, thanks for tuning in. And Amy and Ruth Lisa, a basement is great, but if you don't have one, still just get low in your shelter and away from windows. Bathtub is great as well. Humidity is slowly coming down, Christian, this week. That's a great question. And I think if you can move, Paul, if you can move your plans from Sunday to Saturday, Saturday looks a little better this upcoming weekend than Sunday. All right. So, James, no widespread severe weather expected this week. That is the great news. We're trying to get this out to sea. Jesse, thank you for tuning in. And all clear and Laurel. Rodney reports on Facebook. Thanks so much. All right. I think I've caught up on everything on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Camden Walker signing off. CapitalWeatherGang.com will continue to have a live blog as this activity is luckily clearing the 95 corridor the next few minutes. In progress, it's clearing the 95 corridor. We're now eyes turn to the east of the city. It's all moving out to sea pretty quickly this evening. No storms behind it expected to reform. Severe storm warning or tornado warning. I want you just to get as interior as you can away from windows in your home or shelter or building wherever you are, and in a basement. But luckily, basement is great, but get low and inside away from windows as best possible. But luckily, we are seeing things moving out and slowly calming down this evening. So we'll talk again next Sunday for a weekly Sunday sunset chat then. And please stay tuned for a little while longer to capitalweathergang.com this evening as we kick this darn cold front out of here and get this severe weather out of here as well.